We are here today with Dongjoon Lim, I believe. Am I saying it right?
My name is Dongjoon.
Dongjoon Lim.
Yeah,
Okay.
my not like that, but Dongjoon.
Oh, okay.
I
Well, we
just
are here
but
with.
just my name is Dongjoon Lim, and I just always say that you guys just can call me DJ.
DJ. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my
We,
name
we are
is
here
Lim,
with
and you can call
with
me DJ.
DJ. He's the creative director of PAF, so
Yeah.
Post Archive Faction,
Mm.
and yeah,
Uh,
we're
so I'm,
gonna.
I'm not DJing though, sorry.
Not a DJ.
My name is Dongjoon, and co-founder and creative director of Postdoc Affection. And yeah, we are founded in 2018 and based in Seoul now. And I'll say just we make uniform and trying to build a new archive of the future. And thanks for having me, Hector, and
Of course.
archive fan.
Thanks for having this interview with me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I that's something that I guess came to mind when I hear the name
Mhm,
post faction. Is this like idea of this uniform that's like
mhm,
of the future? This like uh, there's this idea of even like archive fashion in itself and uh, how people, at least I've seen people evolve from wearing these types of garments and then going
mhm,
into a more uh, futuristic style uh,
mhm.
with brands like yourself. Uh, so yeah, is that how you would describe what the name means to you, or what necessarily do you
Mhm.
um, do you feel it the meaning when you thought of the name? uh,
Mhm. Yeah, just post archive faction, quite long name,
yeah.
and just literally speaking, post is after. We can find it from postmodern,
Yeah.
and archive is archive, which means having enough value to be preserved.
Hmm.
And faction, I brought it from politics and like a group of people from mainstream, that is the meaning of
Uh-huh.
faction.
Yeah.
And so yeah, post-archive faction. And I always not easy to explain all the whole meaning. So, and
Hmm.
I really prefer to call it just path because it's
Hmm.
easy,
It's
because
easier. Yeah.
like yeah, like my name DJ. And and yeah, this was the idea behind the naming of the brand.
Yeah.
And yeah, just and easily speaking, just like one of my favorite word, like a combination of it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, perfection.
Well, it's interesting that you say you like brought this name faction from politics,
Mm-hmm,
because the way you differentiate your brand is
mm-hmm,
something that's quite different. I haven't seen before, where you really like separated it into left, center, and right, uh,
yeah, right.
differentiating it from the conservative garments all the way to very experimental garments,
Mm-hmm,
uh, which I think is such a creative uh, way of just thinking of an outside the box way of thinking of clothes, because I don't feel like anyone has taken that approach before, and that um, brings me to the my next question is, did you study any form of design in the past, given that you have this, like, I guess, outside the box approach to it?
mm-hmm. First of all, I think I need to talk about my father, because he was kind of like very not that radical, but at that moment, like radical kind of like activists against the government, like I mean like a military government at that moment, or like 1980 in South Korea, and he did some riot at that time, and just against the police and the militaries, and I got so many influence from him, and also I thought some people say that this side is right, and some people say that the other side is right, and they always fighting each other. I mean, for example, think about nowadays, people are each other. But I thought that, who is right? I always think about that. But at the end of the thinking, I just thought that I think everyone is right from their perspective. And I also think that those kind of right, center, left thinking is really important, because we're like this is some evolution of history, and ideas and everything. So yeah, just that was from definitely I could say that there was from my father. And I think I always say that both are important, because when you learn about right wing and left wing in the history class, the wing means like a literally wing, and if you lose one side, the airplane gonna crash down. So I believe that we need is balance between them. We need to fight each other. So anyway, just, and also we get back to the question, and I did, and I studied industrial design in Seoul for a couple of years, almost like 2 years, and after that I just dropped out. And just thankfully I was exposed to talented people and design works inside and outside of school. And people that I met are now some of them are team member of PAF, all collaborators now, and we are growing up all together.
It's amazing.
And I also just go ahead.
I think there's a certain like wisdom that comes in knowing when to like leave school and really like these experiences that we gather, they all shape us in a way, and like you said, the people you met, I think those things, those relationships sometimes are worth more than actual like schooling.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the most valuable thing I got, I learned from the school was not the knowledge I got, but it was people. The person I met in school. And just I learned I learned about how I develop product. And this major, I think it affected me to approach our garment as a product rather than a mood-based approach in fashion.
Of course. So I imagine this dropping out took a certain like leap of faith, really. What advice would you give to young or emerging talents who are deciding to take a leap into their creative field?
I mean, there's some kind of advice to the young people.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like a lot of the people who follow Archive Dreams are really like creatives in their own right, and a lot of them are further ahead, and a lot of them are like just getting there, and I
Mhm.
feel like being able to like
Mhm.
um, give advice to the ones that are looking to chase their dreams from
Yeah,
someone
right, right.
already
Yeah,
a little further ahead um, has a certain power in order to like uplift creatives.
yeah, just when I, get back to the very starting point of the brand, I
Mhm.
think I have a short period of time, some professionally working as a brand, designer.
Mhm.
And over the time, maybe I just thought that I could do better than other existing brands in fashion industry. And because I did some, branding, design for some fashion brand and also graphic design and so on.
Mhm.
And somehow it didn't take much time for me to decide to start my own, brand. So, and I believe that, you know, there's no, right time to start, you know, on our own journey. I'll say, just I'm not talking about, I mean, like some very cool, quote, but I believe that just the fastest way to learn how to swim is, to be inside the water,
Mhm.
and I mean, like, not on the ground.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
just I think, but from the very start of the brand, like, that time was so intense, and I didn't expect that,
Mhm.
because when I imagine about, fashion designer, or running some fashion brand, like, it felt like very cool, of something like, full of imagination and creation, but the reality is not like that. So, you know
Yeah, I feel like that's a common misconception. Uh,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
so you talk about the start of the brand.
Hmm.
When exactly did you begin like conceptualizing the idea of the
Hmm.
brand? When did you know it was like the right time to go for it?
I think right now.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, just I think always think that, just I mean, like, I knew that I didn't, like, 100% ready when I started,
Hmm.
but I did it. Like, you know, Virgil also say that about, don't try to be, perfectionist, and I think myself that kind of like, perf someone who wanted to be perfectionist, but
Yeah.
never could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, just but my start was like not like very, um very cool. I mean,
Mhm.
like, you know
I understood the concept that you were trying to like push forward, just like, there is no right time. It's just now, like just do. Uh
yeah.
and I guess the question would be like, when did you begin like thinking of like conceptualizing path? Like
Mm.
when were you uh
It was, I think it's been almost like 10 years, because, I didn't exactly conceptualize my, PAF at that moment,
mhm,
but I just thought at some point when I built some, website design as an intern of some, design company. And I thought that, building my own brand is, look very amazing, and maybe I could do that in the future. That was very start of, thinking about, maybe I could do my own brand. It was 10 years ago, and then 5 years ago, I think in 2016, I just kind of like decided to, make my own brand.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's incredible to think how much thought has been put into it as a concept. Because I feel like that from an outside point of view, people don't really realize how many ideas and thoughts have been, just put into this one concept.
Yeah, there is very famous quote like, "Just do it."
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
is really true.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is true. In the past, you've described the brand as an ever-evolving uniform, with the brand obviously being divided with right, center, and left, using the known political ideologies to break up the design into conservative to experimental. How do you see the PAF uniform evolving in the future? I know that certain pieces one season, for example, the cross-zip nylon jacket from 3.1 can be moved from center into right. In that case, do you see the center of the brand slowly becoming more avant-garde?
We are trying to expand our design capability, and to do that, we need all three. We need all three: right, center, left, and since they influence each other and allowing us to explore new design and experimental avant-garde is one of the lizards, and it's not the final destination of the brand, I would say. I mean, like, right is definitely not a final destination, and left is also not. I mean, like, right, center, left, this framework and the balance is, I'll say, just that is our goal. And also I can say that, defining experiment and conservative is matter of time. For example, like 2030 and 2050, 2100. I mean, like, yesterday's, avant-garde becomes conservative in today. Some conservative, timeless design lives forever and consider that differently as time goes by.
Wow.
I mean, like, it depends on where, when we are. That's the it gotta be changed. I mean, like, it could be, right from left and anywhere. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like it goes back to this idea of an ever-evolving uniform. It's an evolution at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And through time, there's gonna be more evolution wherever that leads us.
Let's see how it
yeah. Let's
how
see.
it changes. Yeah.
As for the way you name your collections, it's very much different from like the standard of I guess the industry. What was the thought process behind, naming collections with numbers, or like the names you give for each collection?
I use that method, version method, from 2.0 collection. So the first collection changed into 1.0 collection. So I just applied that method because every time I build collection, I felt like it is not enough. I mean, like it needs to be better, like a software.
Yeah.
So at that point, I just wanted to apply this method and, represent some ideas that, we're gonna evolve.
Wow.
From that
I love
point of
that.
view, I just,
Yeah.
wanted to use that, ideas and, kind of like spirit, from the kind of like viewpoint of, engineering and, developing process.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I love when designers are able to take a different point of view into clothing. It gives a refreshing feeling to the clothing. But to speak about your newest collection, you just released recently, 5.0 plus.
Plus,
Yeah,
like I.
yeah. Tell me about this collection.
Yeah, just so it is basically extension from the 5.0 collection,
Mhm.
literally, and we use some, totally different fabric compared with the previous collection.
Mm,
I think one of the features of PAF is strong and solid colors and materials.
yeah,
You keep that some accent colors for the future collections.
yeah, yeah.
And
If
five
I'm
point.
correct,
Mm-hmm.
it was the first time you used sheer fabric, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got the point. And just 5.0 plus is the first collection we started exploring sheer fabric. I appreciate your recognition, and I wanted to create new emotions and visuals with the latest collection. Like we needed vacation from our previous collections, which
Yeah.
were very usually described as, strong and solid.
Mm,
So we designed so-called technical backgrounds where, soft, mystic, and, like relaxed, and the translucent layer, like that kind of, backgrounds where.
mm,
So and translucent layer exposed, hidden structure of garments and human body.
wow. Uh,
And also just it sounds a little bit ironic to me because technical and backgrounds, I mean vacation, like do not will usually go together, right?
that's
And
true.
so it's hard to visualize the concept, but that's why 5.0 collection was, one of my favorite ones.
Yeah. So which one or what is your favorite piece from 5.0 plus, or what item do you like find
Mhm.
yourself wearing the most?
Yeah, maybe I can I'm not sure we have it right now in our office, but maybe I can show you just directly. Is it
Yeah.
okay to
Yeah.
bring
Yeah,
that
of
one?
course.
Moment.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, here. Yeah, okay, this one maybe.
Yeah. I can see the sheer fabrics.
Yeah.
That looks really breathable, actually.
This one is technical jacket, right? In silk fabric, and yeah, this is one of my favorite in the collection.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because just ironically, it is not technical though, because but this irony gives some newness that I never had before with our previous technical jackets.
Mm.
And the silk material dramatically changed the entire mood of the clothing and its original function also.
Yeah. So do you think how do you think this working with translucent fabrics and
Mhm.
playing with this irony really like fit into the PAF uniform as a whole?
Mm, I think the reason we are making uniform is like we want to see new possibility
Hmm.
of something.
Yeah.
So at that point, I think using new materials and applying new structure is always like kind of like our goal in our
Mm.
collection. So at
Yeah.
that point, just I can say like that.
Yeah, amazing. You mentioned the idea of vacation and mixing
Mhm.
with this technical
Mhm.
aspect. Were there any like specific inspiration or references that you looked to while designing this particular collection?
Oh, actually, it was from my just very personal experience
Mm.
because in this summer, I just went vacation
Mhm.
and it was just a seaside, a very beautiful city called Busan in South Korea,
Yeah.
and like there's beautiful sea around the city and very high building and just I just realized that I also wore PAF collection, and I just realized that is it too serious for the vacation, that kind of question
Mm.
from my side. And I was like, maybe I need to make something very good for vacation, and also this kind of technical and also some outdoor trend is, I think at some point it's been pretty it's been a while. I mean, like outdoor trend is going pretty long.
Yes.
So I think maybe we need some vacation from that. Like we need to, some put down all the pressure to be very functional to
Mm.
all, circumstance. I mean, like it is not easy, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, I I agree with that. When you're designing a new product,
Mm-hmm.
especially with a new material like this sheer fabric, um, when do you know exactly when an item is finished? Is it a natural instinct for you as a designer, or is there a process involved where you speak with your team and get feedback and go from there?
Yeah, I think the it is combination of both. I mean,
Mm.
like instinctions and rationalization. And the first moment is usually very personal and instinctive, but I guess this instinct has been cultivated through all my previous experience and and emotions. And but after my personal impression, I definitely bring it to our team and review it one by one, all together, and then we make decision to develop details to create the final product. And just basically it's the like a process of persuasion. It's like a like a game, like a persuade myself and internal team and our audience and the industry. Yeah.
Wow. I love the idea of persuading the industry as a whole, because I feel like with new like emerging talent, it is
Mm-hmm.
really like up to us to shift the industry into the way that we want it to be, not the way it is. I feel like a lot of times people are encouraged to really just fit into the box that this is how the industry works, this is how the system is, and this is how it's going to be. And I think for younger generations, it's really a duty to be like, no, like we get to decide because we're eventually going to take over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you know, we need to start from ourselves. I mean, myself. You
Mhm.
know, I need to persuade myself, and after that, friends around me, and after that, we could expand it to the community around us, and then just like a whole city and the whole country and global scale. I mean,
Yeah.
like I would say just like a game, like a
Mhm.
StarCraft, that kind of game. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so.
of course. And looking to like this future of
Mhm.
of path and where it's going, I want to speak with you about this future that you envision,
Mhm.
and this in the past you've described the the brand when asked about it as an evolving uniform.
Mhm.
Um,
Right, right.
where would you necessarily say, or where do you see this uniform evolving to?
Okay. I think I think when things are evolving, like just including us,
Mhm.
I guess there's no plan, but it's fully focuses on adapting to new environments and
Mm.
purely for surviving.
Uh,
So I think my answer at the moment is I don't have specific plan or image of future or path, to be honest.
mm.
And it will be ever changing or ever adapting, I'll
Yeah.
say.
I resonate with that answer because it truly shows that it is really like a self-expression. Like you're it's
Yeah.
coming out of you as you grow, as you evolve yourself.
I just just some quote is just like pop up in my mind that very famous, Korean, it was from the very famous Korean film called Parasite. You ever
Yeah.
watched that movie? And just there's some quote from the father in the movie. It was like, no plan is flat plan. You
Huh.
remember that one?
Yeah.
And but this is quite true that if we prepare something very perfectly, but there are so many we saw so many things are just failed.
Mm.
And I think the most important ability in modern society, I guess, is just like improvisation, is it?
Mm.
I'll say just like catching the environment and knowing ourselves and see the around us and just and decide how we move forward. Yeah, it's just I think
Wow. Yeah.
that is basically kind of like spirit of path, I would say.
Yeah. Speaking about this, um, you know, evolution.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Evolution,
this,
evolving.
yeah, this is a question that actually one of the people who from the community who
Mm,
asked, um, and I found it to be like really interesting of a question, which because it felt like not the type of question to ask a fashion designer, but as you see this pretty much aesthetic and world of path evolve and in its design language, could you see path expanding its studio practice into things like interior, like physical art, sculpture, or are you thinking of sticking to,
Mhm.
clothing as a um, design language?
You mean like not even clothes, new, like you mean some object,
Yeah, yeah. Because I
uh,
mean, you studied
industrial
based on what
design.
you studied, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be a possibility. I don't know if you've even like put thought into it, but it's a curiosity in my head because
Yeah, just for sure. Yeah, just
yeah,
I think you made the right expectation because we're trying to expand our practice to some creating objects and for example like furniture and some and also including spaces, and we're already designing some of these, and you see them released in the near future.
wow, that's amazing to hear. That's exciting.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna send it.
okay, yeah,
Like,
because that was actually kind of my my next question. You mentioned in the past that you want to be an architect. Or you would be an architect if you weren't a designer. Is that correct?
um actually, just one of my kind of like goals before I started, fashion.
Yeah.
Hmm.
With that being, would you what would be the closing thing that would create joining these two interests? Like, for example, what would a PAF sofa or chair look like? Now, hearing that you're already working on this, I'm even
Hmm.
more curious of what it would look like. Because I did scrolling through your Instagram, I did see a chair that you guys like kind of surrounded with PAF clothing.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, right.
is this kind of the concept that you're going with this furniture that you're speaking about, or is it completely different?
Actually, it was not from our side. It was kind of like campaign image from Hypebeast,
Oh, really?
HX, one
Mm,
of our stockists, and they made that image, and we just reposted, and
yeah,
I think it's gonna be definitely kind of like in a different way.
mm, for
Yeah,
sure.
just I think it would be better to let uh the product speak
Of
later.
course. Yeah, yeah, of course. I'm excited
Then
to see how it comes
mhm.
out.
I'm
Um,
also, yeah, just hopefully very soon. But always production is always like not going.
yeah, it's always the an interesting challenge.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, as you begin to explore your like aesthetics and
Mm-hmm.
and expand on them, uh, would you ever see yourself taking over a different brand as a creative director in the future if you were
Mm-hmm.
offered the opportunity, or do you plan on sticking with PAF till till you're at the top? Do you have you thought about that?
Yeah, I just pretty many time. And yeah, just for example like taking other brand, or for example like luxury house, yes please just call me. I'm open to collaboration and directing brand, and I'm just first come first serve, and there's something come as there is something coming soon, but I can't say more just yet.
Of
And
course.
also we are even doing some non-fashion area, for example like esport, collaboration with
Mm.
esport area, and also we love to those experience. They have their own history and infrastructures and supporting us to move beyond our limit. And
Or
both team goes through the club, and that's what I always love.
yeah. So speaking about these like first come first serve, is there any brands in a specific that you really like would want to collaborate in the future?
Collaborate.
Put that out there.
Maybe in the future, just LB, Louis
Hmm.
Vuitton,
Yeah.
because it is. I think every fashion designers kind of like dream, and
Hmm.
I exactly remember that when I started PAF, it was 2018. I
Mhm.
just exactly remember the moment I saw the Instagram post from Virgil, and it was like you can do it too. Yeah, just I was like, oh yeah, just at that moment, like, oh maybe I can do that, in the future. And as I think you already know about the upcoming collaboration with Off Fight, and it was quite meaningful moment, you know, to very honor to have a chance to work with one of the legendary artist and designer and creator
Yeah.
of the century. So
Of
yeah,
course.
just
I feel like he inspired
so many people, and
so
he
many people
yeah, exactly,
all
he
around the
changed
world.
whole industry. So at that point, I'm the one who got so much influence from him. So yeah, so at that point maybe a little bit home, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
You,
joking.
yeah, I mean, I don't see it as that crazy given the you're already on their radar given the LVMH um prize you were speaking about. The
Yeah, Advantage Prize. Yeah,
yeah,
just yeah, it was very one of milestone moment
yeah,
in for Korea. Yeah, for sure.
of course. Um so you described your in the past your entrance into the fashion industry like the Korean TV program called If You Started the Game, Don't Stop Till You Become King.
Mm-hmm.
That you jumped into this industry unprepared without any notion of turning back, as you put
Yeah.
it. Path since
Mm-hmm.
then has risen to such enormous heights with the brand consistently evolving
Mm-hmm.
as you envision this uniform. Um,
Mm-hmm.
do you envision the design reaching a peak and a at a point of metaphorically becoming king? Would that be this collaboration with LV, or what would that look like in your head?
Okay, just first of all, the official title of the TV show in English is not what was it? Don't stop till you becoming king. I
Yeah.
mean, like it is not the official. It is the translated and a
Uh,
little bit like mistranslated
yeah.
version. It is the original English version of this TV show. And also what I never watched this before. I just only know about this
The
the
title.
main
Yeah.
title, and it was like from start till clear, because the king is not, for example, like not me.
Hmm.
Some king means like kind of like final boss of any kind of game.
Yeah.
So clear, means not, yeah, so honestly, I don't have, specific image of, like become a king or just like a meeting,
Yeah,
with
I think
some
I
kind of
I meant
I
it
think
more.
there's no king in this industry. And
Yeah,
yes, and
that's.
yeah,
I
just
think I meant it in a more like metaphorical sense.
yeah, right, right.
Whereas I feel like in at least with Archive Dreams,
Mm,
I've I'm trying to encourage creatives
mhm,
to really like dream big and
mhm.
push this
Yeah, yeah,
idea
right,
of
right. Yeah,
of
right, right.
dreaming big and putting these thoughts out there um whenever it feels even like unattainable.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, right, right.
that's why I mean a lot of times a lot of us don't even have it uh set in stone
Mhm.
what we want, but I feel like we all have an idea of like a vision that we envision what our life could be, what our brand could reach, and yeah, I guess it is always an evolution of self and of our work. Um,
Mhm.
I guess I might have asked the question the wrong way, but I guess do you
Mhm.
have one of these like goals? Like one example could be this collaboration with LV, or
Yeah, just I totally get your question, and
yeah.
maybe I'm right. So, just you mean like eventual like just what I want to do,
Yes,
eventually, right? Is that was the
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay, so okay, what I want to do is definitely not, becoming king, because there's no king. And what I want to do is just like make some archetype of something,
Mhm.
and the group of archetype, I think we called it an archive, I guess.
Mm.
So I think, every designer and creator, I think every people, you know, just making their own archive in their life, I
Mm.
guess. I think what I want to do is just, building my own and our archive as a part of, much more bigger archive, because I think all we know is we're gonna die
Yeah.
soon, and then what we could left in this world. I think that was kind of like very important question to me for a while, and we can't leave some archive to next generation, because what I got from the earlier archive, it was like a very beautiful, and exactly, I quite surprised when you posted very beautiful archive from the past.
Mhm.
you know I was like, how he found this kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
didn't even know. Yeah, that kind of circulation of
Yes.
something, and trying to keep some value.
Mm.
I want to be remembered as someone who created something.
Mm.
So I think that's gonna be the kind of like final goal of doing this whole, you know,
Yeah,
activity out.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like it, the idea of being able to like for your work to really like speak to someone in the future and inspire them. I feel like it makes it all worth it.
Yeah,
It's
right.
very, I guess, a fulfilling feeling to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about, what matters.
Mhm.
What matters in all life.
Yeah.
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 I think build something is kind of like the most important thing in my life.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to be a Lego designer when I
Uh-huh.
was young because I love Lego, and also I got Lego tattoo on here.
Really?
So yeah, let me
Let me
show you.
see.
Okay, here is it.
There you go. Yeah, I mean,
Okay, it's not easy to show. Okay,
yeah,
anyway, yeah.
I feel like Legos really like speak to us a lot of the time, because of how you're able to like create something almost
Mm-hmm.
from nothing. I mean, one block isn't necessarily nothing, but what you can do when you put all these blocks together,
Mm-hmm.
create something greater. And I think the same is gonna happen,
Mm-hmm.
as you are able to like put all of your work together
Mm-hmm.
throughout your whole life, and really like view the evolution of
Yeah.
uniform, and and how it started all the way to how the things are that are bound to come. I'm excited to see what more work you
Mhm.
put out there.
Yeah, this. I think that kind of Lego experience when I was really young. Almost like oh, about 10 over 10 years, almost like 20 years, and that gave me um you know very strong belief that I could build
Hmm.
you know everything.
Yeah,
Literally, I could build some human shape of something. I could build car and architecture and castle and everything.
yeah,
So, and if even some new creature doesn't exist, I mean, like that, you know, we called it like imagination. So
yeah,
yeah, that affected me, pretty strongly from my childhood.
yeah. I can totally see that. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I used to love building Legos too. Like it's I feel like one of the best toys, because it really like feeds your creativity,
Yeah, right, exactly.
as especially as a child. Like that's
Yeah.
priceless.
I mean, like assembling and disassembling and whole process is never ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, DJ, for your time. I really enjoyed
Mhm. I
speaking with
really
you, and
thank you.
and thank you, just for meeting with me, and answering these questions for me. I got through them all right, a little bit more than an hour.